Hi creepy friends, welcome back or welcome to my channel. So today's video is just bookish content. It's bookish chaos. So for the last few months I have been filming certain bookish things that have been happening, and I wanted to just collate all of that footage into one video. There's shelf chaos, unhauls, book hauls, unboxings, book shopping, building new IKEA cases. Spoiler alert, they're already up, so you'll have to stay tuned to see all of that process on how I got to this stage. This side is my read books and these are my unread books, except for this middle shelf, which are special editions, and this one is my favourites shelf. But I might go into a little bit more detail on that at the end of the video. So do stick around if you're interested to have a bit of a tour of my shelves. They're not entirely finished. The bottom half is books I'm selling and some boxes that I keep. So it's kind of chaotic still, but nevertheless, we do have a little bit of a different setup going on. So hopefully you like this content. It's split into parts, so I will leave chapters down below in case you just want to jump in between. And yeah, let me know in the comments what you think of this type of video. Something a little bit different for the channel. And during this video, I will be listening and reading Finders Keepers by Stephen King. There is a reading interlude, which is a book that I read for my winter vlog. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you about that book. I just thought I would throw it in there because it was a cute setting, and who doesn't like to watch somebody reading a book in a cute cafe, you know? But if you are interested to hear my thoughts on that book, then I will leave a link to my winter reading vlog where I discuss the books in a little bit more detail and give you my final thoughts. So we'll leave that down below for you. But in this video, you will hear my thoughts on Finders Keepers. And I have, at this point, already finished reading this book. It's kind of weird to do an intro to a video after you have finished everything. It's very odd, but yes, I will be telling you about that at the end of the video, so stick around if you're interested to hear my thoughts on this second book in the series. Without any more rambling, let's get into the video. Okay, so here we are. We're starting with just an overview of my bookshelves, and as you can see, they're pretty chaotic. Books are piled on top of each other. There's sometimes double rows and it's just messy. So I thought it would be time for my unhaul. So in a second I'm going to be clearing out those bookshelves. At this point I was like, why do I still have this TBR jar? I haven't touched it in a year. So that's going. I did also resort my bookmarks, and here we are taking off all of this stuff. I'm also listening to Finders Keepers, which I talked about in the intro. At first I was like, what the hell happened to this book? Like, how has it bent so much? I haven't even touched it. So we're reshaping that to try and flatten it. So I'm starting to pull off books that I don't want to keep anymore. And I did read Reorganising. I give it like 3 stars, so it wasn't my favourite. And with this unhaul, my idea is to pull off books that were either 3 or less stars, something that I don't fancy rereading, or books that I haven't read yet and don't plan to read anytime soon. And at this point I'm going to not talk over the rest of the clip and just let you enjoy the chaos of me trying to reorganize and pull off books from the shelf. This clip is from when I was filming the winter reading vlog. I was reading The Ritual at the time, and I wanted to include it because it was bookish and such a cute cafe spot. I'll leave that vlog linked down below. This first unboxing is Nine Goblins by Kingfisher. Such an interesting book and cannot wait to read it. Next up is my Evernight horror subscription, and this month's book was We Call Them Witches, and I already read this book, but look at this edition. It is incredible and I'm so glad to have this copy. And yeah, the underside, the naked hardcover, is even better. It's just perfect, and it is an incredible read as well. Next up is the Illumicrate fantasy box. This one is an interesting one. This comes with items as well as the book. So yeah, let's take a look. Everyone's favorite part, the book shopping content. This time I did something really funky there with the camera shot. Wow. I started picking out books that were interesting to me and kind of wanted to buy but didn't actually buy any at this time. So if there's anything that pops out that is of interest that you enjoyed, please let me know, because I am very intrigued to get my hands on some more books, because as you'll see at the end, there's some empty spaces. And here's a little Axel interlude. We went on a little walk and I was listening again to Finders Keepers. Now we have our bookshelf content. First up is Axel's inspection. I think it passed the test. We started building it together and Axel had to supervise, of course. And now it's time for the reorganization, taking stuff off the wall and trying to make this bookshelf fit. So enjoy! Okay friends, so you've made it this far in the video. Thank you so much for sticking around. I'm going to give you a quick little review of Finders Keepers without spoilers as well, because this is the second book in the trilogy. So Finders Keepers is your bookish crime story. It is centered around a writer who gets killed in 1970s. I think it's 1978 actually. And the manuscripts were stashed away and then later found in 2014. So there are 3 different timelines that we're jumping in between to learn about this crime and the books, and there's a lot of mention of different authors and different stories throughout this book. This is a very bookish book, so it was perfect for this video, you know, my bookish chaos with a bookish book. So that aspect has been really interesting to read. And if you know me a little bit, then you know that for me, crime-based stories are not often something that I really enjoy. So I won't say I absolutely love this book, because I didn't. I enjoyed the aspect of the story and how it's centered around readers and it's centered around writers. So with the crime aspect, we are following some of the same characters, the usual suspects from Mr. Mercedes. Obviously you've seen me listen to this on audio mostly, and I think audio for these books aren't the best. I didn't enjoy reading it on audio. Physically reading was a lot better for me. So I think if I am to read the final book, End of Watch, I might read it physically rather than listening to it, because the last 2 times I'm just not connecting with the narration. The guy sounds so monotoned and he's just boring to listen to. So when I was listening to it while I was getting stuff done, I just wasn't enjoying it. But obviously I did read maybe like half of it on audio and half of it physically, but the physical version was a lot better. So I think if I am going to pick up the last book, I will probably, like I said, read it physically instead. Overall, my enjoyment of this crime story just was not hitting it. I was hoping that it would be a little bit better, because people do say this is one of the better ones in the trilogy, and I just think it was an average read again. And unfortunately I didn't enjoy it as much as I wanted to, but maybe that is due to the audio. I'm not entirely sure, but it could be also because it's crime based, and for me, not really a big fan of crime stories, so there's that. But nevertheless, I have enjoyed reading this book and making a dent in Stephen King's backlist. At this point, I think I'm like 48 books into Stephen King's backlist. So I've still got a ways to go, and I'm excited to continue reading some stuff. This is the first one that I have read in 2026. And if you know, I have been trying to set Stephen King based goals every year. I only read 3 last year, and I set 13 books for my goal, but this year I've only set 6. So I'm already 1 down, which is incredible news. And yeah, let me know which other books that I should be picking up by Stephen King down below, or check out the video if you haven't watched that one already. So yeah, that is the video. I hope you have enjoyed. Let me know what your favorite part was. Let me know if you would like a little bookcase tour. I wasn't sure if I should be adding it into this video because it's already quite long as it is, but do let me know in the comments if that is something that you would like to see. So thank you so much for watching this, and I guess until next time, keep your pages turning and embrace the darkness. Oh, and subscribe. Bye!